Hello, my friends. How are you? Welcome back to another sesh with me. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Seriously, how are you feeling? Tell me in your head. Tell me in your head, right? Did you get that? I get it. All right. Anyway, that must be another dad joke. All right. Today I wanted to talk to you about living in the now. And when I talk about living in the now, what does that conjure up in your mind? How do you think about that? Do you think about, oh gosh, now I get to think about work. Thanks a lot, Jesse. Now I get to think about all the yard work that I got to do today after I get home from work, pick the kids up. Come on, man. Or is it, well, I am feeling great. And I know what I have to put into the world today is going to make a difference. Are you there yet? Seriously, are you there yet? It's okay if you wane in and out. In and out. The ebb and flow. At some point, it is wonderful to be able to wake up, have yourself, hold your frame in a way where you don't need to worry about everything that you do in the run of a day and how that is going to affect you. Go with it. So, living in the now. Do you truly live in the now? Do you truly believe the moment that you're living right now, that you're watching me on this video, that you are in the now? Are you aware of all the things that are around you right now? For me, it's trees, the wind. It is the seagulls that I hear chiming in the skies above me. And those are just some things. When you allow yourself to live in the now, when you allow yourself to really be, you can give yourself permission to just be, just to be endless, because that's what it does. When you just say, okay, all right, I can go minute for minute, hour for hour, and just be who I want to be. And these circular mind thoughts that I have, I can put them away. No, Jesse, it's not that easy. You're right. Because when you are day in, day out, and you are at a job like I was. So my job, certain companies that I worked for, and many of them were great companies, but it was the habits that I formed and the behaviors that came with that. And what that was for me was, it was a growing list of nonchalant activities that I would be premeditatively planning for the next day's work or the next week's work, and always scheduling ahead. Always scheduling ahead. And not that that is a bad idea, but here's where it loses touch with who you are. You want to be very aware of where you are when that happens, because if you are, like I was, always planning ahead to the point where you don't check in with your own feelings, my friend, you're going to be running on fumes pretty quickly. And what that does for a person, like for me, you go burned out. You get really burned out. Your energy is putting yourself in the future. Your energy is lost to the thoughts, the innocuous thoughts that keep circulating, percolating, over-exaggerating your being. And what you do is you inadvertently put all that energy out there into the world that is yours, and you leave nothing for you. You don't leave anything for you. And see, many of us grow up with the identity of, I've got to work, and I've got to work hard at it. And not that this is a bad thing, but we do it mindlessly. We do it tirelessly. And we do it without reserving a part of ourselves for ourselves. And we don't truly live We're always living for the future. And while some of you might say, well, Jesse, that's easy for you to say because you're on the other end of this selfie stick, holding your bag. This one, by the way. Get that out of your mind. And you are using these words. Yeah, I am commanding this into my life. This is my life. I would rather live in these moments where I get to enjoy these moments around me and take in the scenery and check in with how I feel. And why is that important? Because I afford myself with myself. And I get to know my own boundaries and feelings. I get to hone them. I get to explore them. And when I know how I feel, I don't spin out of control like I used to. Man, I used to. You know, when you have some of those circular thoughts where you're just chasing the, I didn't do this well enough and I've got to go back. Let's say you're in university and you've got an essay to do and you're continually going back and editing it, and it's already at the page number that you had been requested to have it at, and the word number, and it includes all the facts, but you're continually refining it because it's not exactly how you want it to feel. That's just, at some point you got to cut it. At some point you got to be okay with that. If you're continually doing that, you are setting yourself up for not being good enough. And there's got to be a point where you got to get okay with being good enough. And when you get good enough, that feeling inside you, these are my fingers, by the way, at my throat, so you can see that, but here's my heart. When you can feel that, you truly get to feel yourself. And then you will say, well, Jesse, how do I know what that feels like? You know what that feels like. It feels like you start to know yourself. You get excited about it. I mean, when you go for a walk in the woods, do you continually think about the next day if it's on the weekend? Are you continually thinking about your job? Are you really in alignment? Are you there taking in you? Are you there for you? Are you there reserving all that time for work to clear all that work stuff? I mean, do you see what I mean here? Is it truly about you? Because if it were truly about you, then why are you allowing all those thoughts about work into your head? Good question. Why are you allowing yourself, choosing, by the way, yourself all that time to percolate on all this, to use all that energy up in your body, because you will, thinking about how to better conduct yourself every day at work, or every day with your kids, or whatever that is. And again, I want to distinguish what I'm talking about here for you, because some of this is okay. Living in the now means that you are reserving a part of for you. So if it means that you've got to go out in the woods or go for a hike to think about some of these things, just make sure that you are reserving some of that time exclusively for you, without thoughts of work, without thoughts of the kids. And it's okay to love the kids, but love yourself too in there. Okay? If you're out there for half an hour, 20 minutes of that should be for you. 20 minutes of that should be for you, because that is important. When you prioritize that, when you continually prioritize that, you start to program yourself to be able to do that in other aspects of your life. You feel me? So, living in the now is all about capturing yourself and how you feel in moments of right now. It is about truly honing who you are and where your boundaries are. It is, if I think about this right now, do I get to resolve it in one go? I mean, have that conversation with yourself. I know I'm adding extra mind clutter at this point, and it's not actually, it's really good. It's structural stuff. If you are going to spend time, do this for yourself. If you are going to spend time thinking about how to best hand in that project next week at work, or how best to talk to your spouse about a conflict that has come up for you, reserve 10 minutes of whatever that is in the block of time that you have. That is 30 minutes exclusively for that. Time yourself. Think about it. Put an alarm on it. As soon as that alarm goes off, if it's not resolved, shelve it. Shelve it. It is not meant to be resolved in that notion. And here's what happens when you do this clarity for yourself. When you get into your now, you afford yourself this open channel to be an open conduit for all this endless possibility, and somewhere where you are being with yourself, being present with yourself, that answer for that conflict that you had problems resolving with your spouse will come to you. And this has worked for me. This has worked for me. When I lose when I give myself a time limit on how I think, or how I'm going to think about something and how I'm going to think about resolving it, I give myself a time limit, because if I go any further than that, it just becomes an endless loop of mind stories, and I don't get any further than that. But the clarity comes, and this is like genius. The clarity comes when you've allowed yourself to be open and free, and you just unattached to anything around you, to being present. You open up all that energy to source. You open up all that energy to you being limitless, and the answers, they come to you. They will come to you because you don't put any pressure or resistance on yourself, and you aren't continually in the hamster loop on the wheel, or in the loop, whatever the wheel and the loop looks like for you. All right, my friends, I've made my point today. I want you to live in the now. I truly want you to live in the now. And this is not only a reminder for you, this is a reminder for me too. Because what I do with these videos that I have, they are careful reminders for me too. This goes two ways. Anyone that says otherwise is fibbing to you. We learn doing the things that we do, and we learn doing them for other people as well. We learn bilaterally. We learn always, but that's just one way. All right, I'm going to sign off there. I wish you the best day today. Let's do this.